Tonight's episode of It's C-Doc again is pre-recorded for your convenience.
It's C-Doc again.
Well, yes, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night somewhere in the world. I'm your host, C-Doc. Welcome to another episode of It's C-Doc again. And as always, I don't do this alone. So bring in my co-hosts. First up is the gal who got her start in classic rap radio in LA, our lady from the heyday of K-Day, Jennifer Jenny.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Coming from the west side, throwing up the dubs.
Absolutely.
How's things?
Things are thinging.
I could ask for nothing more.
You know, if they weren't thinging, then I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Also joining us tonight, coming from a little closer to where I'm at. He's the co-host and co-founder of People's Distinctive Travels show. I'm going to remind him, hopefully coming soon to Channel Zero, but it's out there now. You can still check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Mag 7.
Yo, what's happening? Party people.
You throwing the old school yos at us, man. Damn.
Party people.
And the party people, too.
And the party people.
They won't let me live that one down.
No.
I think...
Party people.
That's your catchphrase. That's your catchphrase.
Yeah.
I did that.
Did you?
Yes, he did.
Y'all get funky. Yeah. Just hit me.
Yeah. I love the shirt, Ultra Mag.
Little Divine Styler Scheme team.
Nice.
Nice. And, speaking of People's Distinctive Travels, guess what? I just pressed the button on. Latest episode.
No.
Ooh.
With one, trying to get the light right, with one Mr. King of Chill.
Nice.
From the Alliance.
I have been waiting to listen to that one.
It is available on all streaming platforms. I haven't put it up on YouTube yet, but I'll do that when we're finished. But it's streaming,
Fantastic. That is great.
Anything to stop the Jennifer Jenny episode, please.
Let me tell you something. Jennifer Jenny episode is the second most popular episode. She's almost neck and neck with Mr. Sugar Bear.
See, there you go.
I think she might surpass him.
Yep. You got the legs, Jen. You got the legs.
Got the legs.
Moving.
Got him.
Got him. Also joining us tonight is the president of Hip Hop Gods Radio, or Rap Station. The president of Rap Station, the man behind Hip Hop Gods Radio. It would help if I got his titles correct. Also coming from the west side, the northwest side. Ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Bam.
He's that guy.
And here we go again.
And here we go again.
Yeah.
Yep. What's good, sir?
Wow.
I'm here. Once again, I'm here. So,
it being Tuesday night somewhere, somebody will be listening to your show.
they will.
So, yes. Why don't you tell them real quick? Tell them real quick what that show is.
Hip Hop Gods Radio in Flotation on the Rap Station app. It's a free download. Go to rapstation.com/app, I believe. And then it can also be found on mixcloud.com/hiphopgodsradio.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, let's get into it. Our guest is patiently waiting while we blather on. Like the silly people we are. He is just a guy responsible for a lot of dope stuff. It's, yeah, man. His reach extends pretty far, and I'm actually curious if he realizes how far it extends. But it's if you're ahead, you've heard of some of his creations, and we're going to talk about those tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show DJ Dave Paul.
Hey.
Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Yes.
What's happening, sir? How are you?
I'm good. I'm still here, and I think anyone over the age of 40 after COVID, we just think we're still here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Somehow we did it. Somehow we got through.
Yeah.
Did you ever catch it?
Yeah, I caught it last year, and I had it last month.
Oh wow!
So that was but it only lasted 4 days on last month on my second go around of it.
Wow. Well, hey,
which
man.
was a lot easier than the first time.
Yeah. I have not yet, knock on wood, so
Wow.
trying to stay away from that.
Super immune, especially with those kids running around.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I swore that they brought it home at least 3 times. I'm like, oh, you guys brought home COVID, didn't you, from school?
They get over it in like an hour.
Yeah,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rocco, my youngest, he's 6 now, has a perpetual, I swear he has a perpetual snotty nose. It's just like, dude, come on. But we're not here to
Part of
talk.
being 6, I guess.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about Rocco's snotty nose. That's just a whole other episode nobody wants to watch. Dave, what's going on with you? What are you doing these days? Are you still doing the throwback parties?
Yeah, still doing the throwback parties, and doing some stuff on eBay, Discogs, unloading a lot of old stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that I've collected over the decades, and stuff that I have doubles of, triples of, or maybe stuff that I'm just not into anymore.
Was it as a collector, was it hard to decide what to part with, or were you just kind of like, oh man, I got too much stuff, I just got to get rid of it?
It's always hard to part with anything.
Yeah, okay.
Because back then you had to go and hunt for stuff, and so you have a connection to maybe a certain record. You remember where you first played it or where you first heard it. So it's hard to sell compared to maybe something that you buy nowadays, where you just find it online, buy it.
Yeah,
it's quite easy, and if you resell it, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. You've been we found out through Jennifer that you've been selling off the old back issues of the Bomb Hip Hop mags.
I did make some of those available. They haven't been out there for many years. That's why if you look on eBay, they're like $150 each, because people just can't find them.
Yeah.
What?
And many years ago, I had them on my web.
Oh man!
I got
Come on!
I got some money.
Yeah. And years ago, I had them on my website for $5 each, and no one was buying them. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take that down, and I just waited years, and I was all like, oh, they're going for $150. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some money right there.
Yo.
Come on, man!
All right.
You're killing me.
I know what I'll be doing later.
You got to buy more tapes, right? Get that money to buy more tapes.
Yeah.
So Dave, how did you get into DJing and specifically hip hop? How did that all start?
I started DJing at 17, my junior year of high school. And if you talk to almost anyone in San Francisco, everyone was a DJ. So we started our own DJ crew. We didn't know what we were doing. Started out using, on one side, a turntable, on the other side, one of the component that was a turntable cassette deck.
Oh yeah.
all that's you'd be like trying to flip through. And then my senior year of high school, I started working at I was working at Chevron, and it turned out everyone that worked at Chevron was the DJ. So we would just sit there like late at night listening to Michael Erickson and Cameron Paul on the radio, and talk about records. And yeah, so that's how I started.
Were you already collecting records at that point?
Yeah, I was. I had Egypt, and what's the Reckless by Ice-T.
Yes.
Yeah, and then because we were all trying to strut and pop and all that out here on the West Coast. And then I traded someone some rock records for the first Run DMC album.
Wow.
And then that's when I was like, oh, just got more and more into it.
So what took it to the next level then, for you as a DJ? When did you start? You're working at Chevron, and there's all these other DJs. When did you like get better equipment and so on and so forth?
Probably when I bought my first pair of 12s. Once I had those, it was because we were using like JVC 210s, which had the little dial for the pitch. And then so once I got 1200s, it was like crazy, It just, buying as many records as you could afford, not eating lunch because you could use that lunch money to go buy a record,
Right.
I remember those days.
Yeah, what was it? $3.99 for a 12-inch.
Yeah.
And you had to be very careful. Like, you just couldn't get everything like you can now on the internet. Everything's free. Like, you were like really had to pick what you were going to buy.
Yeah.
And you knew like that's the record I want to play at the gig this weekend,
Yeah.
School dance, wedding, whatever it was.
Were you DJing a lot? This was after high school?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was during high school, but even after high school a little bit, and then I was doing college radio. I was doing a rap show.
Right. Beatbox Fridays?
Yeah, Beatbox Fridays. And then that's when I started getting free records from the record labels, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is great! I don't have to pay for this."
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of duds too, but yeah, that, and then I was in a record pool for a while, and just collected a lot of vinyl.
So I read that you had a mix on KML.
I did have one of my mixes on KMEL. The unfortunate thing was it happened right after Cameron Paul and KMEL split. And because I have the same last name, though unrelated, they wouldn't say my full name on the air when they played the mix.
Oh.
I'm still salty about that.
Yeah. You should be.
Right?
The one time you get a mix on like big commercial radio and they're not even going to say your full name.
Yeah.
They could have said DJ Dave Paul, no relation or something.
Right? I think they just said DJ Dave, or they said just Dave or something like that. Yeah.
Do you remember what was on that mix?
Oh yeah, I still have it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I have it on a cassette. I just need to transfer it over, and then add it to Mixcloud. It was a 45 minutes. The mix was 30 minutes, and they were like, "Well, you got to add 15." So then I just played some records longer and just added the 15 minutes because the 30-minute mix I did all on reel to reel, like doing edits and overlaying stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the music might sound a little dated.
That's all right. We love that stuff. We love dated stuff. Come on.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, we're all about the dated stuff.
We're all dated.
Yeah.
It's funny though. You look back at some of that stuff, and you're like, "Oh, I can't believe I put that song in there." Like, "Oh, that was kind of corny." Like, you know.
So you're doing college radio, and what was Beatbox Fridays like?
Oh man, it was 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. And so we'd go party on Thursday night at like Club Townsend, Palladium, all that stuff, and then I'd have to get up in the morning, get over to the station. So sometimes I'd pre-make like the first 2 hours because I knew I was just going to be sleeping in the station. Man. You know, that was those were some crazy days. Early 90s in San Francisco, it was just a party city.
That's such a huge block of time to be filling with music. That's pretty impressive.
6 hours is a pretty long for a radio show, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you have interviews?
We did interviews, have people come by and do freestyles, and
okay.
But usually it was just playing the music. I always hated talking. I hated the sound of my voice when I'd like listen back to my skimmer tape. So I was just more into the music. Yeah. But yeah, we'd have interviews, phoner interviews, or in live interviews, whatever the record labels could set up for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you still have those old air check tapes?
I do. I was just talking about that with someone yesterday. I was like, I need to digitize all that because I have so many like cool freestyles on there.
Right.
And and a lot of the local Bay Area cats who came by like all the time, and I'm like, oh man, I got to transfer this stuff over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's
amazing history. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need that, Dave.
I know someone's like, so when are you going to digitize that? I was like, because we were talking about videotapes, because I have tons of videotapes I need to digitize. And then he started talking about cassettes, and I was just like, oh man, you know how many cassettes I have? I'm like, I wish I could just find a company that wasn't crazy expensive and just be like, digitize all the stuff for me.
Yeah. Wow. Yep, that's some serious history there. Jeez. Okay, so around this time, then you decide to start the magazine, right? The zine.
You know, here's the funny thing about the zine is, I started just doing like a top 40 playlist. I think it was every 2 weeks that I'd send to the record labels, here's the top 40. And then maybe I'd write a paragraph or two. And then a couple like startup hip hop magazines hit me up like, oh, would you write articles for us? So I was like, oh, and I wrote a few for them. And the magazines never came out. It was 2 different magazines. I can't remember the names of them. And I was like, oh, I'm going to start my own magazine. I'll just do it myself. And the funny thing is, I've actually flunked English twice in college. So here I am flunking English, and at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna start my own magazine.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then and the first one I did on a typewriter. And then shrunk down the text and cut and paste and put it all together. So it wasn't even made on a computer.
Yeah.
Wow.
I miss those personally. I miss those cut and paste days because I've been there, done that, and there's a lot of joy and satisfaction when you get everything just lined up perfectly. In that medium. So yeah, that's awesome.
I miss making flyers that way too, instead of just on the computer and you just use the template. Like the old flyer days were cool. I mean, it took you hours, but
right. The end result was worth it though.
It was.
Yep.
Logging hours at Kinko's copies and things like that.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Yep. We used to do our own little 4-track albums, and I go to all kinds of lengths to make artwork and for it and stuff like that. And, and now they're all gone. It's like, okay, so glad I did all that. So
Oh,
whatever, but they're floating around somewhere. But it was fun. Yeah, no, you're right. It was fun. Fun doing that kind of stuff. What so when did the zine, and for those that don't know, we're talking about the Bomb Hip Hop magazine. When did it start to take off?
Probably like the second year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How often were you putting out issues?
I was trying to do every month. Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes it'd be an issue that'd be like a July, August issue if I just couldn't get my shit together.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
July,
there
August,
it is right there.
93.
Yep. Which was always good to do, like for the whole July, August, because it's summertime. It was, it was always good, to put July, August together.
mm-hmm.
How long were you just doing it by yourself?
I had a couple people helping me. Victor Osborne, he was the first one that started helping me do the computer stuff.
Okay.
And we'd lay it out in he'd lay it out in PageMaker.
Oh wow, PageMaker, damn.
Yeah, man.
Taking it way back. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I love PageMaker.
Yeah. PageMaker was great.
Yeah.
My high school newspaper, we used PageMaker. It was very cool. Wow.
It's
I
just
forgot
one
all
of those
about it.
things you haven't heard anybody say in a really
Jeez.
Probably a lot of people never even heard of PageMaker anyway.
Oh yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things. Oh crap! Yeah, PageMaker.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what you use now. I mean, I know it went from PageMaker to like Illustrator to InDesign, and I don't even know what people use to lay out magazines now.
Yeah, InDesign maybe. I'm guessing.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
But okay, so early on you had people helping out.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and how many issues were you doing? Do you remember approximately, like printing up?
It ranged, and it was usually around 1,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then how did you distribute it?
Locally, I would take it direct to the magazine stores. And you know who was and then there were magazine distributors, which you learned later on, which were exactly like record distributors, which was good luck in getting your money.
Right.
But the best company was Tower Records.
Wow.
Yeah, hands down.
They always paid, and they got your stuff to all their stores, even overseas to Japan and all that. Like
Wow.
Tower was the bomb.
Yeah.
That's great.
No pun intended.
They got it
I
to
think-
they got it to
I
New
think-
Jersey.
Is that where you got
Tower-
it, Alter?
Yep.
Tower always prided themselves on things like this.
Yeah.
You know, they always had the rare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
at
And
least
they-
the one in LA did.
And they always gave DJs discounts. At least here in San Francisco, if you were like a mobile DJ, I forget how much it was. I think it was 10%. You got 10% off of whatever you bought,
Wow.
which was really cool.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see it growing into something bigger? I mean, was that always the plan, or was it just kind of like, I'm having fun doing this?
No, because when you're in it, you don't see it.
Yeah.
And really, maybe you don't see it till a decade later, and you look back and you're like, oh, that's what that was. But when you're in it, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. you have no idea. You're just like one issue to the next issue. You're just
Right.
trying to get articles and interviews and try to get the record labels to advertise. And
That's the same exact thing as I can say being at the radio station.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. When you're in it, you don't see it.
Yeah.
20
Yep.
years later, you go, holy crap, I was there.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
But when you're in it, you don't see it.
very true. Which artists were you most excited to meet at the time or cover at the time? Was there anyone in particular, or was it just kind of like, this is amazing that you're getting to talk to all these people?
I can't think of any one artist. It was fun meeting Ice-T, and the thing was you got a lot of backstage passes. And then here in San Francisco we had the Gavin convention. So you would just be in the elevator and you'd meet whoever, you were just meeting everyone. So when it came to interviews, I don't know. You didn't?
Nobody in particular. Okay.
No, I can't think of anyone in particular.
Okay. Was there anybody? Were there any artists that surprised you with anything? The way they came off, or what they said, or
Everlast was really nice when
Yeah?
I first met him. And that's when DJP was shopping their demo.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I got a copy of the demo. And he was really cool. Nice guy.
Okay. That was the House of Pain demo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he had already done the Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the whole
Forever everlasting.
F Everyone, that was a great track.
Yeah.
That little Tipper Gore shout out.
Yeah.
You know who's always surprising to meet in person? That one right there.
Flatline?
You're pointing to Ice-T?
Ice-T.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He'll blow everybody away
Mm-hmm.
when you meet him in person. Not at all what you would expect.
So, you're running the magazine for a few years, and what made you decide to start a label?
Well, at first I didn't. What happened was we got demos all the time.
Okay.
And so that first Bomb Hip Hop compilation was mainly demos from everyone and I think Ultra Mag has everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck, man. God damn.
It's what I'm known for, Dave. It's what I'm known for.
We have a friendly competition going on.
Yeah.
So that I did with PGA Records.
Okay.
And so because I knew nothing about doing a label, unfortunately what happened was the guy who was doing PGA Records, I'm not going to mention his name because I don't feel like calling anyone out.
Right.
People that know. So he took it and got it pressed.
Okay.
And he got it pressed on credit. Like, I'll pay you later for this pressing. Sold it to distributors, and then he disappeared. And I'm like, what the F happened?
Right.
And I didn't know the whole story until later on. I just thought he disappeared and that was that. I didn't know about the whole he got credit and all that until I was like, well, I'll start my own label. And I went to Rainbow and to press my stuff, and they were like, oh, we're not pressing your stuff. You ripped us off. And I was like,
man.
what are you talking about? And then they told me the story, and I was like, but that wasn't me. And they was like, we don't care.
Yeah.
So then that's how I ended up going with Bill Smith Custom Records at the time.
Gotcha. Wow. Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's the record business, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, one stops, good luck getting paid. Distributors, they fold, they go bankrupt, or they only pay you when you have a new release. So you give them that release and they pay you for the old release, but now they're still going to owe you for the new release.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle. When people tell me I'm going to start a record label, I used to say don't.
Right.
Because if you look at how many record labels, indie record labels from the 90s that are still around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stone's Throw, I think that might be the only one. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just...
Bro.
I mean...
I don't know if that one counts exactly. But,
It does not.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you guys had to be like the first people to put out a DJ compilation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And where did the idea come from? Just getting demos?
No. Oh, you got the first original.
I got the OG.
Yeah.
I was in college at the time. I was doing my college hip hop show, and I went to the record store, and the guy, because I was in there all the time, the guy was like, "You need to listen to this." And so I put it on in the listening station, and it's one of those albums and one of those moments that you don't forget. And this is one of those albums where I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like it's, and to this day, it's, you put it on, it's holy shit. It's this is a game changer. It's this, and the word is thrown around a lot, but this is classic. This is legit classic. So
fun fact, I made that cover in PageMaker.
Yeah,
man,
PageMaker.
Yeah, man. It's a gem. It's a gem. So at the very least, I just wanted to come on here and say thank you, because man, that album it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that came about was I was tired of albums not having that one DJ song, because you'd always have like the Jazzy Jeff, the Mr. Mix, Cash Money, like every rap album at a certain time had that one DJ track.
Yeah.
And that started not being on albums anymore.
Right.
I don't know if it was they didn't want to pay the DJ, samples, who knows what. So I was like, oh, let's do a whole DJ album. And a few people were like, yeah, you know. And then I would tell people, well, yo, Cubert's going to be on it. And they'd be like, well, I'm going to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I went to Cubert, was like, yo, would you be on it? Like, because at first he wasn't on it, you know, but once people heard Cubert was on it, they was like, oh, okay, well, he's doing a track, I'm going to do a track, you know. But I mean, I knew Cubert was going to be down, so
Yeah.
I wasn't too worried about that.
I also want to thank you because in honor of those compilations, we did on Chuck's label, we did a release earlier this year called Revenge of the DJ, where we, you know, it's basically using your blueprint and just got some DJs, some classic guys, some new guys.
Oh,
and
I think Cubert's on it, isn't he?
He is, yes. He's on Magic. He's on Magic Mike's track, yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's how he sold it to everybody. It's a Cubert song.
I wish I could say that, but no. I basically said, "Hey, remember the Return of the DJ compilations that Bomb put out?" I'm like, "I want to do that," and they were like, "Okay," because everybody knew those. All the DJs knew those records. So.
Yeah, those were fun to make. You know, I've sometimes I think about it like, oh, I should do a new. Like people all the time will hit me up like, "Oh, you're gonna do a new one?" And I'm like, well, one, they didn't really sell, you know, and two, it's too hard to do with the whole sample thing now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I got caught up in that bumping bus stop sample brouhaha with where what happened was the guy who made it, I guess he was in.
Sorry. Go ahead, please.
He was in I guess he was in a nursing home. And so after he passed away, the family was like, "Oh, we're going to sue everyone that sampled this song because you guys did it all on purpose because he was in a nursing home and wouldn't have been able to know that you guys were sampling them." So the first amount of paperwork that I got, it was a RICO case. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys, Kanye and Stone's Throw and Bomb Hip Hop, all you guys conspired
What the
to
hell?
do this." And I was all like, "What?" And then later on, it turned into just a regular sampling lawsuit. And that one part, that Step Up, that was on like 6 different tracks on Return of the DJ. So they're trying to get me for all 6. Which would have been $100,000 per offense, plus damages, plus lawyer fees, blah blah blah.
Right.
And I know they went. I know a few movie studios paid out on it. A few of the labels paid out on it. I don't know whatever happened with the whole Kanye thing. I remember I had offered their lawyer like $1,500 or something. He laughed at me and was just like, "No, we're gonna get you." And then it ended up a judge ruled that it was all de minimis because it was such short parts and altered by the DJ so much and so that got thrown out.
Wow.
So after that, I was all like, "Do I ever want to do another one?"
Right.
Probably not. Not unless it could be like sample free. But then that takes out so much creativity.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
So, what brought the magazine to an end?
Because I thought I'd do better with the record label. But the problem is when I really started pushing the record label is right when it was sort of done for the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like 99 was the last so-called great year for selling music. My mistake is I put out like 11 albums in 99 because everything was getting backed up. And I was like, let's just get them all out. But then you're just competing with yourself because even if you're into what Bomb Hip Hop was doing, you weren't going to buy 11 albums in a year.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do I'll put out stuff from Europe and Australia and, because I was just into hip hop. But at that time, and I don't know if it's changed much, people in the U.S. don't want to hear accents on their hip hop, Yeah.
I had a theory about that.
They're fine with auto-tune now, but
yeah, right. Yeah, I had a theory.
T-Pain.
I had a theory about that because like the early UK guys would try to sound more American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them did.
Some did.
Yeah.
Now they're just like they don't care. They don't give a shit. So
well, it's universal now. It's all it doesn't.
Sure.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yep.
With the internet now, it changed everything. I think with MySpace, it started changing everything, and now you can find anything, hear anything, share it with anyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you could.
Can you find?
Flavor Magazine.
Can you find the review of the first Return of the DJ online? I don't know because it's here in this issue.
Yeah, that was
pretty great.
I got Flavor too.
Come on, man. Stop it.
was,
I got
Rachel,
another one.
Come
Rachel
on,
and
man.
Allison. There was a lot of good magazines back then. The Flavors, Straight from the Lip.
There it is.
Yeah, man.
Man.
How about Fever?
Wow.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh,
Neither have I. No, what the hell?
and you
Wow.
never will, Flatline. You never will.
Bringing me to tears.
I got a bunch of elementals up in the closet.
I got those too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep. Yeah.
I am
I'm done,
defeated.
Flatline. I'm done. You're
sure?
okay. I'm done.
No, I don't think that you are. I feel like you're sitting on cassettes and you're like ready to like.
I'm done.
all of that stuff he showed was from his left hand. I want to see what's going to be on the right hand later on.
Man, you never know with these guys. That's what I'm saying.
You know,
Yeah.
collectors, man, it's an addiction. Collecting, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
And
So
so
speaking
thankful
of
that
collecting-
I've hung on to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because there was times where I was like, oh, okay, well, I need some money. I'm going to go sell this.
You know,
And there's certain stuff that I'm glad I hung on to it because you're never going to see it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
you know,
Or if you do, it'll be for crazy amounts of money.
crazy money on eBay for, you know.
eBay people just can't gauge that stuff very well because they price stuff out of the.
Yeah, you know, I've noticed some people on eBay price it so high because they just want to show off what they have, but they're not really trying to sell it.
Yeah.
You know, when I see a T-shirt for $3,000, I'm like, you just trying to brag, and you
Right.
know no one's gonna pay that.
Right.
But if someone did, then you're like, well, $3,000,
Right.
you know, I'll sell
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but it messes up the whole market because then people start thinking, oh, if
Right.
he's selling it for $3,000 and I have one, I could sell it for $2,000.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a $300 shirt. It's not a $2,000 shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a guy hit me up the other day. He said, "Do you want to sell your?" Because I have the Cenobites CD, you know, the Cool Keith, Godfather Don, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to." And he goes, "How about for $300?" I'm like, oh, "Come on, man."
Wow.
I'm like, no.
You can set them my way. You can set them my way.
Yeah.
I think I got the wax too.
Oh, do you?
The original Fatherland wax. I think I got it. Yeah,
Oh,
somewhere.
don't sell that.
I don't
Give it
have
to
any
me-
kids. What am
give
I
it to
going to
me
do
for
with
my
it?
birthday?
I have no children.
The worst is what
Did you hear that? C-Doc said give it to him for his birthday.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
At
get
least-
your money, bro. Get your money. I'm just
at least I'll take pleasure. I could see Rocco holding it up. And
Right.
Yeah, right. That is
Right.
true.
Yep.
That is
But
true.
one of the guys from Yag Food just got an email from somebody in Singapore or something like that. Do you have any copies of Action Packed Adventure? And you could sign it, and I'll send you. I'll buy them from you.
Wow.
No, do you have any copies of Action Packed Adventure? Send them over here. We'll sign them, and
Go ahead, Ultramag. Hold up the album. I'm just waiting.
he doesn't have it.
Oh, I have the cassette,
He does.
and I'm
Yeah,
going
you
to
have the promo.
send it to you so you can get it signed by the guy.
Get them to sign it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go pull out all my Yag Food front.
Oh man.
Well, but look, what did I pay
Jennifer
for this?
will.
I paid $25, $30 for this,
Yes.
and then I paid $30 for this,
That's the loop.
and these are just singles.
Yeah.
Yes, but do you
And
have
then-
this?
What
And
is
then I
happening?
paid $30 for this.
Here.
Or do you have this?
Nope, sure don't.
Looking for a contract?
Yeah,
have
the
this
CD
stuff?
single.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Ooh, yeah.
No. but there you go, Jennifer. There's
See,
OG secret
But
tapes.
you don't have
Yep.
this one.
Yeah.
You know what? It always reminds me of that part in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they're both sitting down at the table, and he's all like, "See this watch? I bought it for like $5, buried in the sound. People will be fighting over it, years from now." And that's
it. No,
Yeah.
you got us beat there, bro. You got us beat there. Yeah.
I had that.
Promo cassette.
I just told him how much it was selling for. I saw it on Discogs, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
looking the other day, remember?
oh, what's it selling for? I just sold one.
That Yag Fu Front promo
Right.
is somebody selling it for $50.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and you can't, if you can find a copy of Action Packed Adventure, that thing's going for over $300.
You can't get the wax. That's why I keep telling them they need
Yeah.
to repress it.
Oh, yeah.
They will make a mint
Yeah.
Yep.
because you can't get the wax.
And there's
We're
all these
working on
companies in Europe willing to pay money to like release your
Chopped
stuff.
herring.
You know?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chopped
yeah.
herring.
That's one of 'em.
Redid. Yeah,
Yes.
chopped herring brought out the secret
Hip Hop
tapes.
Enterprise.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. Dave, when did you get into remixing?
Probably in the 90s. I would do stuff on the reel to reel. I did a couple battle records under a fake name. And then that's how James Lavelle from Mowax wanted me to do the Cavern Liquid remix.
Right.
But he was like, we didn't call it stems at the time. I guess it was called multitracks. He was like, just take the song and do something with it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay. He was like, make it like your battle record. And I was like, okay. So listening to it now, I can't stand it. I'm like, I wish I could redo it. And one day I should actually redo it. And then there was someone on Bandcamp selling it, but they went in and took out all the weak parts and remade it, so it just had all the good parts.
Wow.
And it sounded pretty good. I was kind of bummed they were making money off it, but I was all like, well, this sounds better than what I did, You just took out the parts that were like the lame parts, and I was like, yeah, I would have took those out too.
Wow.
So you had the right idea,
Yeah, I just some parts were like, and but hey, it was. And it was rushed because I remember James Lavelle was like, oh, I need it. And then I sent him a copy. And he was like, okay, well, we're out of time, so this is good enough. And I was like, okay. And
wow.
I mean, he paid me, so I was happy. I was like, wow, I got paid to do a remix.
Yeah.
I think it was $1,500,
Nice.
which in the 90s, and you're making something on a reel to reel, you're like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But then no other opportunities like that ever came about. That was the one-time thing, when something like that happens, you think in your head like, oh, maybe I can start doing this. And, things don't work out and you keep doing releasing records and magazines and so forth.
And then you finally decided to get out of the record business.
I had to. I was too far in debt. I was in debt with the record label, the record distributor, Caroline, and I was in debt on 11 credit cards. And so I had to stop.
Yeah.
It was. I look back now and I'm like, spending money on posters and listening stations and music videos. That was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
What I should have did was spent more money getting certain artists that I should have had, like artists that sell records. Because a lot of that stuff, if you think about it, I was basically putting out demos. It was
Right.
And the funny thing is, most of those artists never said thank you.
Really?
You know, when something doesn't sell, the record label gets blamed. You never have. I've only had 2 artists ever thank me, and they were both DJs. When something doesn't sell, it's the label's fault. The artist never comes back and says like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry you lost money on my record."
Yeah.
Never heard that in my life. You know, everything's good if someone's making money, but once you know, it's too hard in the record business because when you don't get paid, then there's no money to pay the artist, and the artist is looking at you funny because you're the record label. If something's not selling, if they go to a store and they don't see it in a store, how come my record isn't on the shelf?
Yeah.
You know, there's only so much you can do, and there's only so much a distributor can do. And yeah, you want it on the shelf. Okay, we'll do this, pay for this end cap because the distributor says, well, we could just deduct it out of your money, so you're not fronting the money, so you don't think about it as much. You're like, oh yeah, let's do the end cap. The end cap's costing you $1,000. The stores end up returning 60% of the product, so it didn't sell, you know, because it's all consignment.
Yeah,
it's doing a record label it's a nasty business. A little easier now. I mean, if you look at a lot of artists now, it's online, and if they press something, it's limited edition. Yeah. We're only making 500. We're only making 150, but they're $50 each. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've bought some of those records, you know, like, oh, we're doing it on only 100 of them on Color Swirl, $45 plus the tax, plus the shipping. It's costing you maybe $60 for that one record, but you know, there's only going to be 100 of them.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you already know, you can double your money reselling it later on. So,
Yep. So no thoughts of reissuing stuff? Or have you thought about it?
If some other label wanted to put it out and it wasn't costing me any money to do it, I'd be open to it. I had talked to one company about doing Return of the DJ, but on cassette, because we never put those on cassette.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be oh my God! You know, yes, please.
You know, but they ended up flaking, and right. Because we only had 2 cassettes, which was the first Bomb album, the Bomb Hip Hop compilation, and then the DJ Faust solo album. And I never did any other. So Return of the DJ was never on cassette.
That'd be amazing if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I could find a label that's down to do it, I'm open to it. But I'm not going to try to pay for a manufacturer and sell them myself.
Right.
And enter Spitslam.
Oh, jeez. Let me think about that.
And enter.
I can't promise much because we're a very, very small label. But you know. But yeah. You know. Possible.
Well, thank you for this, because this is the first time I heard Black Alicious. So you introduced me to, you know, rest in peace, Gift of Gab, but you introduced me to Black Alicious, because when I heard Lyric Fathom, I was like, what?
Yeah. Kills it on that song.
Oh, he was awesome. And you know, then I started looking for Black Alicious. I bought more of their records and followed them, you know, as long as he was here, you know, him and XL. And then that got me into DJ Shadow, Quantum, and, you know, all that stuff. So that was like my entry entry drug into all that music. You know.
Well, since we're going there.
Goddamn.
There you go.
I totally did not plan on getting in on the goofiness today, but oh well.
You see me looking. I'm looking for my Latyrix tape, but I can't find it.
Oh, nice.
That was such a great time for the Bay Area because everyone would just see everyone at the shows, or even in the very beginnings, like it was basically talent shows.
Yeah.
And we'd all be at the same spot, you know, all the same artists. That was a great time.
Were you still DJing then too?
Well, I did the college radio, I think, till 93.
Okay.
And the magazine I stopped in 96. And then I think the label really until like 2003, I think. But the releases had slowed down like once it was like 2001, because at least Caroline was like, look, we'll let you go and you don't have to pay back this money, but you can't roll with another distributor. So then I was like, well, why even? I put out a couple things where I'd press like 100 and try to.
Yeah.
But it was harder to sell stuff online back then than it's much easier now. You know,
Sure.
You have to make the PayPal button, put it on your website, and try to get people to go to your website. But with no social media, that was.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Understood. I had a question. So the throwback parties and stuff you're doing now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, with those, it's playing music I like, and I'm basically playing music that I played back then. It's all the same records. Yeah. You know. So it's funny when people, like when I do my 80s party, people like, oh man, like, you're really good. And I'm like, well, I better be, because I've been playing these same songs for decades. Like if I really mess up, like, you know, I'm having something's wrong with me, you know. And now I'm playing the digital, so I can make intros and loop the break and everything else. Like if I screw up, like, you know. But I mean, with the 90s and with hip hop, or, you know, the Prince of Michael, it's all. I've set it up to where I get to play music that I like, and the reason I started throwing these parties were promoters weren't messing with me. Promoters weren't booking me to DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the party myself and booked myself. And that's how I started doing it, which was, when you look back with the magazine and everything else, it was like, well, you try to write for a magazine, it doesn't come out, do it yourself. So that's really how the parties came about.
See, it seems to be a key thing with you. Yeah.
Seems to be.
So the Prince Michael DJ sets. Who do you personally? Who is it personally for you? Prince or is it Michael?
I'm all Prince.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up on Prince music, so when I DJ, I play fair.
Yeah, okay.
But if I was gonna play just based on me, it'd be like 3/4 Prince.
Yeah,
easy, you know, because that's Prince is the man, you know.
Yeah.
Well, plus he's got the catalog.
The catalog is insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. It really is.
And I used to be a like hardcore Prince collector. And it's funny. Last night I was actually thinking like, maybe I'll sell like 3/4 of my collection.
No,
It's just kind of there, but I mean, like the magazines, the imports, the posters. Just used to just collect everything, and they're just like, well, they're just sitting in boxes, sitting in shelves.
Yeah.
And his stuff is going for quite a bit of money right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that thought last night. We'll see. It'd be hard to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yep.
I know some good homes. That if you I know a few good homes.
And you would want it to go to a good home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's key.
That's really a lot. Like if someone hits me up and I can tell one, they're either a reseller or they're being a dick,
Yeah.
I won't sell to them. I won't even respond to them. But if it's someone that I know who's like a lot of the cassettes that I sell, if it's someone that I know and know that like they really cherish that music and they're gonna cherish that cassette, then I'll be like, yeah, I'll sell to them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good.
Did you ever get a chance? What was he gonna call? Was it, the White Album that never came out?
Black Album?
Black Album.
Black Album. There you go.
Yeah.
Beatles, Prince. Yeah, the Black Album.
Yeah.
There's a crazy story. I was at the radio station, and somehow we got a copy.
Oh, you got the promo from Warner's?
Before it was even he wasn't coming out with it yet.
Right.
He hadn't done anything with it yet. And we got a copy of it. And I remember we're locking the doors. We're not answering the phones. We're playing this thing straight through. And we did it twice, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it was on a Saturday afternoon. We locked that radio station down tight. But didn't take very long before we were getting knocks on the door with cease and desist letter. But we played that sucker all the way through.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then he never came out with it.
Yeah.
Never came out with it. And whoever ended up having that original vinyl, that's a $5,000 record.
Yep.
$5,000. Oh my God.
The original 87 presses.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were all ordered to be destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Man.
yep.
And, I mean, we didn't even we got it on I think it was like a cassette.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how we got the blasted thing, but we got it.
Wow. That's an interesting record, man. It's like I have this very odd obsession with it. It's not it's not even nearly my favorite Prince album, but there's just something about it that I return to it often.
Yeah. I just wish it was mastered better. But,
Oh, yes.
but I wish that about a lot of Prince albums.
Yeah.
Everything before 1999, the mastering's
A little weak.
yeah.
A little anemic. Yeah.
Anemic. Yes.
Yeah.
So whenever I take one of his songs, I always try to find the Japan remaster on CD because, well, if you're gonna re-edit any song, if you can find the Japan remaster, if there's a remaster to it made in Japan, it's always gonna sound better.
Mm.
But I was editing Uptown, and you still got to mess with it because it still doesn't like hit in the club, you know.
Right.
Yeah, that song took a lot of work because Prince. Now I understand why DJs don't ever mix that song and they just throw it because the drums are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with someone, we were laughing. We're like, well, he was probably making 5 songs that day. Let's do the drums real fast. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
seriously.
Incredible.
You have a favorite Prince album?
1999, and my second one would be Sign of the Times.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
ended up being both albums that were double vinyl. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, Dave, where can people find you these days? On social media?
yeah,
Online?
I'm on Facebook all day long. Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, you type in DJ Dave Paul, I'll pop up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other questions from my esteemed colleagues? Did we cover it all?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, I think we got it.
Everything.
This has been an absolute pleasure.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah,
man,
for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what else Ultra Mag has over there to
I
hold
know,
up.
right?
Oh, Lord.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
want? What do you want to see? You know, I might. You know,
Yeah.
if you have some '80s, '90s hip hop, I might. You know, be able to.
They
play
also
some of
talked about Return of the DJ in this issue of The Flavor with the Genius.
Oh, cool.
The genius.
Yeah.
that. Hey,
Did-
hey, Flatline, don't make me go flex on you and go into the closet and pull out all this stuff. I got. You know.
Which is funny. They talk about in the issue with Jizza, which came out a month after the one with Special Ed that I held up. They're talking about it like Return of the DJ is coming out, but it's already been released. So I don't know. There must have been some sort of mistake in. Anyway,
Was that volume 2?
no, volume 1. First
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yep. Yeah.
It must have been July, August. So,
Yeah. Let me look.
Which in the magazine world,
Yeah.
you got to plan like 2 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
When you're, you
Right.
know.
July, August.
July, August.
See? There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yep. You called it.
Oh,
called it.
brother.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
today.
Thanks for
We
having me.
appreciate it.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
yeah, please, if anything else coming up, stay in touch.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Dave Paul in the
Hell
place
yeah.
to be.
Yep.
Yay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
There we go. There it is. Yep. Good stuff.
And you don't stop.
What's the matter, Flatline? What you dabbing for? What you dabbing for?
Oh my goodness.
Just for kicks, I went and got my Black album. So there you go.
Oh
Oh.
man. Yeah.
Right.
That's the 94 one. So the
Okay.
one that
There
did
you
come
go.
out.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants me to sign their their copy of the Purple Rain video,
Oh, yeah. You're in the club, right? Yep.
sure
That-
am.
There's a thing called Flashback Cinema. I don't know if you guys have that. It's at certain theaters across the country where they show old movies.
Yeah.
And they're for Prince's birthday, I guess this year. They're doing. I think it's coming up. They're doing Purple Rain. So Jennifer, you could go see yourself on the big screen.
Yeah.
How exciting would that be?
You know, relive the magic.
Yeah.
Relive the magic of Purple Rain.
That was a really long thing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, 1984. That's when it
Yeah.
came out. When did you shoot it? 83?
Yeah, about 83. Yeah, 83.
83?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. I was, that would have been my senior year of high school. And we had an exchange student, a foreign exchange student, this guy from Brazil. So I
Wow.
took him with me.
Nice.
So he now, 40 years later,
Is a
you know, I was in that, but
That's
Thanks
great.
to my sister.
That's great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I guess we got to do our usual information dump. As always, it's C-Doc again is brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group. The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound. Yes. And you can also join Flatline and myself every Friday for the And You Don't Stop radio show hosted by Mr. Chuck D. And I have the Spit Slam Jam of the Week, where I play music released by the Spit Slam Record Label Group. So check that out every week. Flatline does the hip hop god stuff. Good stuff. New hip hop by classic artists.
Damn right.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Make sure I got it right.
Correct.
Yes.
Damn right.
And you can also join Ultramag and Jennifer every Sunday, along with DJ Soulbuck for the mixtape. A little primer on the guests we have coming up on Tuesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Party
And
people.
who do you guys
Shut up.
who is featured on the mixtape and our show next week, Jennifer?
One Mr. Percy P.
Ah,
Rhyme
One
Inspector.
Hell
Ron
yeah.
Collapsing lyrics.
Legend.
Yes, the legendary Percy
What
P.
was that?
Legend.
For
Just a legend.
for emphasis.
All right, I better stop. Fucking Percy P. Tune in
Percy
for that.
P. Yes.
Yeah.
So join us next week for the legendary Rhyme Inspector Percy P. Thank you, everyone that joined us live tonight. Everybody watching on the replay, please like and subscribe. And we will see everyone next week on another episode of It's C-Doc Again.